Most of the times when we look at our pastors, we see people of strength. But where do they go to when they are also in times of weakness? Hello and welcome to Men of Cloth. And my name is Dr. Fafa. And joining me today is none other than Bishop JONAS Masotla. Bishop, how are you doing today?
Doing very well, Dr. Fafa. How are you today?
I'm blessed.
Blessed.
It's an honor to have you on this program, sir.
I'm honored also to be here.
Thank God.
I'm glad we are here to have a chat.
We thank God. God. Probably before we get much into the topic of the day, just a brief background on who Bishop JONAS Masotla is.
Okay. Bishop JONAS Masotla is the senior pastor of Worship Center Community Church in El Mapias in Pretoria.
All right.
I also happen to be the chaplain in the South African Police Services.
Okay.
Serving in Pretoria as the head of the chaplaincy and what we call EHW.
All right.
In other words, it involves pastors in the police, social workers in the police, and psychologists and counselors.
All right.
So I am there. I'm with the police now for 30 years. And of course, I'm known as an artist.
Yeah.
I sometimes think I can sing. I don't know whether it's always true.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You seem to be wearing so many hats. How then do you balance your time in terms of you have to be a pastor, you have to be a chaplain, you have to be a musician at the same time, also a father at the same time?
Yeah. You know, Dr. Fafa, I believe that we all have 24 hours a day.
All right.
And as to how we are going to use it, it's up to you.
All right.
There are those that would use their 24 hours to sleep for 14 hours. And there are those that would use their 24 hours to sleep for 3 hours.
All right.
So fortunately, I always say, in the police, I am not in investigations.
Okay.
I'm not in logistics. I'm not in, many other things. I'm not in crime prevention. I'm a pastor there.
Okay.
My client is a policeman.
All right.
And what I do with a policeman is what I do at church.
All right.
So I am a pastor all the way.
All right.
So many people see it as me having too many heads.
All right.
But it's actually one. I'm just pastoring a member of my church, and I'm also pastoring a member in uniform.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
The singing is the one that seems to be outside, but I also sing in church.
All right.
I'm not singing
outside
jazz.
Church.
No, I'm there.
Wonderful.
So I'm either going to church or I'm in church or I'm coming back from church.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Bishop, my next question would be, you have been around church for some time. And by virtue of that, there has to be a certain there is a certain level of knowledge that you have that the generation of upcoming pastors like myself might not even have. What is your take in the transition that is happening in churches nowadays? What is it that you would compare and say, nowadays this is happening that did not usually used to happen in the past? And how is it affecting the work of God?
You see, Dr. Fafa, I always move away from trying to say this generation. When you listen to people talking, either in sports or, for instance, where I am in the police or in any other fields, people tend to say, we were the last generation. We were the best.
All right.
And then the ones that are coming, no, they are not the ones.
All right.
That's one, I think it's one Rastafarian guy who sang a song and said, every generation blames the one before.
Oh, yes.
I try to move away from thinking that my generation is better than the one coming up or the one. But the truth of the matter is that there are things that are good in the generation that I'm in and then the generation before and the one that are coming in.
Okay.
But there are also bad things, bad practices that are there in all generations.
Okay.
One thing that I see vividly these days is pastors becoming celebrities.
Okay.
You see. and not necessarily pastors, but the office
All right.
has become something else. You know, when you talk pastors, it's you no longer talk. You know, people who sacrifice themselves, people who were there for others. There is this phenomenon
All right.
that came with the office of the pastor that I think it's a danger to the church.
Okay.
And that's my opinion.
All right.
Yes.
Wonderful. You have been around church for quite a good number of years, and what would you say comes as the greatest challenges of running a ministry?
You see, the danger. It's let me go back to my work situation.
Okay.
I'm overseeing, as I said, social workers, pastors,
All right.
and psychologists. And psychologists, for instance, they have a board. They've got a body
Okay.
where they report to.
All right.
Whereby, if a psychologist has done something wrong, she can be reported.
Yeah.
She can be struck off the road. And the same as with social workers.
All right.
But as for us, we belong to ourselves. You see, you are Dr. Fafa, you are alone, you don't report to anybody.
Oh, yes.
And then you grow. And then when you make mistakes, I cannot tell you anything.
All right.
You see, if I come there as Bishop Jonas Masota, I come there to preach and go. You see. So there is this thing of one is studies, for instance.
All right.
Let me go back to my work again.
Okay.
If you are going to employ a psychologist, you need a psychologist.
All right.
You need a person with a degree or a master's in psychology.
All right.
If you are going to employ a social worker, you need someone with social science, with a degree, with a master's in what.
All right.
But if you say, I'm going to employ a pastor, there will come someone with master's in theology.
All right.
And someone with 3 weeks diploma
Okay.
in the book of Romans.
Okay.
And the one in the book of Romans is driving a big Mercedes-Benz. He's got 700 people behind.
All right.
You see, the one with masters belongs to, a small church. So there's these imbalances
All right.
that are there. So the office and I'm moving away from talking about people.
Okay.
But the office itself has got dynamics that are going to take time to deal with.
All right.
Because someone with a diploma in the book of Romans, if he has got 7,000 members and has got 20 million in the bank, you can't tell that person anything.
Yeah.
You're out.
Wow.
You see. So those are the dynamics that are there in the office of the pastor.
All right.
That don't even have answers how we are going to deal with them.
All right.
Yes.
Wow. Most times when we look at our pastors, Bishop, we are seeing let us just say they are our role models in terms of how we deal with things in life. And we oftentimes find strength in them in our times of weaknesses as the congregation. But in times of weakness, as a man of God, where do you go and how do you handle such an experience?
You see, before I even deal with that question, let us go into the weed.
Okay.
You see the song that was sung by the ladies when David was coming back from the killing of Goliath.
Yeah.
That song, if you check your text and scriptures, Saul did not kill thousands.
Yeah.
And David did not kill thousands.
All right.
None of them killed thousands.
Okay.
If they were to be fair, they would say, man, this is just a song that you and I can start singing now.
All right.
But the voices, the noise in the ears of Saul.
Yeah.
When they said he killed 1,000 and David killed thousands of thousands.
All right.
It was not a fact.
All right.
But it was just the voices.
Okay.
And the voices made him crazy.
Okay.
You see, and forget who he is.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I'm dealing with here.
All right.
As pastors, we need to be careful
Okay.
of the song that we hear here
All right.
in the ears. Because the song would say to you, you are not a human being.
Okay.
You are above human beings.
All right.
And you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you are Dr. Fafa, you are a pastor.
Yeah.
You just happen to stand when we are sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk and then we listen.
Yeah.
And we don't ask you questions.
All right.
We say amen, we say hallelujah.
Yeah.
And when we put money into the basket, we put in, you take out.
All right.
That does not make you a superhuman being.
Okay.
You need to chill and calm down. You're just as human.
All right.
You see.
All right.
So those are the things that we need to check as pastors. You see, that sometimes you don't hear the voices here and move away from reality, because when you go home, reality will catch up with you.
All right.
You're not a pastor to your wife. You are John.
All right.
You see, and reality will catch up with you.
Okay.
So if you can start there to say, I am just this one that is standing and talking while people are sitting down, but I'm just a human being.
Yeah.
You realize therefore that you need me.
All right.
To call me and say, hey, Ruth, things are not well.
All right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And I need you to say, hey, Murat, I'm going through this in my marital case.
Yeah.
You see. I can give you an example. I went through a lot myself in my marital life.
All right.
Had a wife, started ministry together.
All right.
Grew up together, 3 kids. Everything was fine. We started everything that you see around me together.
All right.
My singing career, my profession, my what. 2014, she died.
Okay.
I lost her. And I was lost. You see, because I was the Jonas Masota there, and I was lost.
Okay.
You see. And I went into my grief. It was terrible. The church was in pain.
All right.
And then 2014, I went into another marriage. And then 2 years down the line, the lady decided, no, it's not working.
Oh, okay.
And then she left. You see. And then I was in a place whereby now I ask God, what is this now? You see. I must go to the pulpit and say, God is love, God is this. But I must come back to reality and then cry on my pillow. You see.
My God.
That's when you realize that you are not a superhuman being. You're just as human as ever. And as a pastor, calm down.
All right.
Put your feet on the ground. Let not the voices make you crazy.
All right.
Find a friend. Have a friend. Have as a pastor, you need a pastor.
All right.
You need your own pastor who will pastor you.
All right.
You see, you ask many young pastors, who is pastoring you? Who is talking to you?
All right.
Who is saying to you, wait, step aside a bit. You can't do this.
Okay.
Who is saying to you, you're tired? Who is saying to you, chill? You need that person in your life.
Wow. Yes. Probably just to tap into your life experience, Bishop. How did the church handle the fact that their pastor is going through a divorce? Was there a sort of reaction from the church to say, based on this, we then say the credibility of our pastor is questionable?
If there were those, they did not come out.
All right.
You see, I can stand on top of the hill and defend the church. You see, the church has got a way of giving their pastor pain and there and there.
All right.
But as for me, the church was there for me.
Yeah.
The church supported me.
All right.
The church supported me. You see, we need to be clear.
All right.
And say it. God says, I hate divorce.
Oh, yeah.
It's there in the Bible.
Yes.
But you need to be careful.
All right.
God does not hate divorcees.
Okay.
You see.
All right.
And we need to understand that as a church.
Okay.
We tend to hate prostitutes.
Okay.
God does not hate prostitutes.
Okay.
He hates prostitution.
Wow.
These are two different things.
Yeah.
You see. God does not hate people. And he says, once you come to him, you are new. And it's his new, it's not our new. If God says, you are new, you are new. If I know something about Dr. Fafa that happened before, and I can write them down. If God says this man is new, who am I?
All right.
I was preaching yesterday at church. I was saying, you cannot question God.
All right.
You can ask God questions.
All right.
These are two different things.
Okay.
Questioning him and asking him questions.
Okay.
It's not the same.
All right.
So to answer your question, no, my church really supported me.
All right.
They were disappointed. They were disappointed. I mean, I was also disappointed.
All right.
No one goes into marriage with the aim of divorcing, let alone men of God. But there are many men of God who have gone through what I've gone through.
Yeah.
And because of the church demonizing you,
Okay.
when you go through divorce, there are many that are dead, because when I know you and then I know your wife and then the next thing you're divorced, then I see you as this demon.
Yeah.
And then you are even afraid to say to me, Pastor, this is what happened to me.
All right.
Because I cannot cancel you. I cannot cancel you after I've judged you. Once I said, you're finished, then you're finished.
All right.
Then you cannot open up to me, you see. So no, the church supported me. Pastor friends supported me.
All right.
It was not easy. It was very difficult.
All right.
Something that you don't wish for even your worst enemy. Yes.
Wow. Probably just to take us back on that experience again. You are someone who also experienced grief at some time. And you are also supposed to minister. And yet you are going through a phase of trying to mourn. And you are also supposed to stand and minister. How did you manage to find yourself and still saying, I am still going to press forward, irrespective of the pain that I'm feeling, I still have to stand and minister?
You see, a sheep is very, to say the least, is very dumb.
Okay.
You see.
True.
A sheep can, when sheep are going this way, the another one can turn around. The first one, they will all turn around.
Oh, yes.
And they can turn for the whole day. You see. David says in the book of Psalm 23, even though you walk through the valley. You see, let me give you the context of that.
Okay.
The scholars are saying the reason why he used that valley thing is because in Jerusalem there are valleys.
Yeah.
And sheep would travel there sometimes during the day. And when they get into the valley becomes too dark. And the sheep, because they are sheep, they think it's night.
All right.
And then they stand there and they sleep.
All right.
It is now the duty of the shepherd to come and say to them, hey, wake up.
It's not time to sleep.
It's not time to sleep. Move. It's not dark yet. Take them out of the valley and then they go out, they see the light.
All right.
So I'm saying this to say, it is not the duty of the sheep to take care of the shepherd. Okay. The shepherd must take care of the sheep. All right. Now, as a shepherd, sometimes the sheep would jump into the place where there are thorns. And when the thorns get to the sheep, they even get to you. All right. As a shepherd. Oh, yes. And then you take them out and then you take the thorns away. But you need someone. You need another shepherd. Okay. Who will come and take thorns away from you. All right. The church, when God said, when Jesus said the sheep follow the voice of the shepherd, and he's referring to the church, it's just that. All right. The church, you might be how broken. They still want to hear your voice. They still want to hear you saying to them, how are you?
All right.
how's family, how's your dog, how's all these things. They want that from you.
Oh.
They are sheep. They want that, and you must still say it. If they can be angry with you that you did not greet them.
Oh, yes.
While you did not sleep the whole night. They don't know that. All they know is that pastor is coming and he's going to take care of us. Hence, you need another shepherd.
All right.
To say to you, hey, man, I see you've got thorns in the back. Can you turn?
All
And
right.
then he'll help you.
Wow.
So I still went to the pulpit. I still gave a smile, but I retreated
All right.
to the ones that will understand me. There are places where you can go
All right.
and cry out.
Okay.
And you need that place.
All right.
Don't be a stone. No, don't be a stone. You must be like a ball. You see, like a tennis ball.
All right.
You see, a stone is tough, it's heavy. But when you press it, when you put it down, when you hit it down, it stays there.
Yeah.
It's not coming back. But a tennis ball, when you punch it, must be able to come back. So you need to be able to hit the tough surface, but come back.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Just in closing, Bishop, what we see a generation of pastors that is coming up that is flamboyant and charismatic in their doing of things. And we see so many attacks amongst them other than operating in unison. Like you said, a shepherd needs a shepherd. But nowadays it seems to be shepherds themselves are attacking themselves. And this is bringing some form of disrepute to the body of Christ. What is your comment to that?
It's exactly where we started in this topic, that the problem is not the people.
All right.
It's not Jonas, it's not you. The problem is the office.
All right.
The office, the furniture has changed. You see,
all right.
The makeup has changed.
Okay.
It's now, when in the past, when the pastor, the office of the pastor was there to serve people,
yeah,
with tissues to wipe tears and all that. The office has now changed. When people come in here, they are coming to serve me.
All right.
It's about giving me water, Sometimes I would sit and then people would wipe my
your shoes.
The shoes. That is a problem. You see. And if we can change the makeup of the office and take it back to serving,
all right,
not being served, then we'll get it right.
All right.
But so young people coming up, when they look at me as a pastor ahead of them, do they mirror me and model me as a server, or do they say, I want to be like my pastor so that I can be saved?
All right.
You see?
Okay.
Then if that is the case, then I cannot blame young pastors. If I am only there to be served, go and check how many pastors go to church at the right time now.
Oh, yes.
Go and check. How many pastors are there when the team is starting, when the music is starting, when we are singing, when we are worshiping? No. I'll come in, and then when everything is set, and then the office is becoming that of a king.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's a problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bishop, I want to appreciate you for coming out onto the program today and sharing words of profound wisdom. I want to believe people of my generation need people like you to tell us and to conscientize us on this route of how does it work in the pastorate. I want to appreciate you, Bishop.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, viewers all over the world, I want to take this time to appreciate you. Too bad we have to love you and leave you for today. This is all we had time for. But surely make an appointment with us next time. This is Men of Cloth, and my name is Dr. Fafa. And for today, we are out.